Hello, ladies. Hello. Where we're streaming at. It could be gentlemen as well. Um, I don't know if my streaming is going to be okay or not because my signal looks weak today. I'm just noticing that. But I still wanted to jump on and say hey. Hey, girl. Hey. To you guys. Trying not to miss too many, even if I'm on briefly, because you all know I'm in the middle of some transitioning over here. Um, so yeah, so I'm just trying to get going. I'll be getting out of here in a minute, but hey, girl, hey, I still wanted to let me pause this. Hmm. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Hey, Shayla Bayless. But I still want to jump on real quick, trying to get back into the swing of things. And I'm on my way out, headed to the office because I got some things I got to take care of. But I still didn't want to miss it because I've been missing several. Um, and I'm trying to get out that habit because it messes everybody up and getting on because they don't know if I'm coming on, if I'm going to be here or not. But I'm going to the office today. Things are slowly but surely making their way. Hey, girl. Things are slowly but surely making their way into the office. So I'm headed that way today as soon as I jump off here because I got other meetings at 2 and at 3, matter of fact. But I wanted to jump on and share this with you all briefly from my heart. And I've been saying lately over and over again that I think that the us that are not willing to come out of our comfort zone and figure out that the way we were doing things in the kingdom, they were working for the time, but I think God has laid his hand here, and I think those things are now changing how he's operating, and he's doing it swiftly. I think he's transferring some things over to his people, and he's doing that swiftly too. I was talking to a young lady, and I just want to share this real quickly for someone that may need to hear it. I don't know, but I was talking to a young lady the other day on the phone, and we began to just share some things, and she began to talk about how some things they was transitioning into in a business sense that they were doing, and how God just laid something on her heart that she knew nothing about, but they needed to tap into it. So she jumped up and just started kind of googling around trying to figure it out. It was just what they needed, just like that. He instantly gave her the answer. And so I think yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, I was same situation, and I was like, okay, I don't know how we're gonna do this, how we're gonna handle this. And he gave me a name, a company name to look up and start getting in line with them financially. And so I was like, I don't know. I know the name said I've heard the name before. It's a reputable company, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, Chris and I always cash on the barrel for everything. Um, but he began to deal with us and say some of the things that you all are going to have to do. You're going to need some financing. You're going to need some support. You're going to need some help. You're not going to be able to cash on the barrel everything that you need to cash on the barrel to get where you're going. And I'm saying that we got to be willing and ready to transfer because we're used to just paying. We pay cash even before we didn't have much of anything. If I was going to get something, we would save and get it. We weren't ones to build a whole lot of credit and get ourselves in debt that way. But there's some things that I can't go out and buy $1 million property just cash on the barrel. Not right now, And so you have to build up to things. And so we have got to be willing to change how we have viewed how God is going to bless us and how we think things are supposed to be, and realize that he's doing a transference that's going to blow our mind that we wouldn't even dream of or wouldn't even think of because it's not our typical way of doing things. I'm just saying that some of us are going to miss the move of God and where he's taking us and what he's doing because we're stuck in yesterday. I've been saying for a minute now, and as Chris and I talk, and anybody talks to me, I'm like, okay, this pandemic, everything that's happened, I think those things shake us into being what God needs us to be and shake us in place and move move us and shift us. And I'm watching so many of us, saints, children of God, try to go back to what we were doing before all this took place. And can I just share with you, there is no going back. You need to figure out where he's moving you to now. I love all the conferences and us getting together in fellowship. All that's wonderful. I have no problem with that. I know some of y'all like to get together and have a whole prophesying something in all that's wonderful. What I'm telling you is, he has added things to us and he's moving us quickly. So again, as I lay there and I'm like, Chris had been talking, he came and said some things to me, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know. And so God gave me a name of a company that I don't know nothing about, to reach out to them. And so I got up that morning and I did it. I thought nothing else of it, got on my email, reached out, had some questions, inquiries, just wondering how some things would work out. And when I got back to my computer the next morning, they had came in, responded back to me, and we began basically a partnership, so some things that we probably wouldn't have been able to do, now we can do in order to expand where God is trying to take us. Hey, George Martin, hey, Grant, to expand where he's trying to take us. So I'm saying to you, and I hope you hear me, because sometimes people think you're trying to be smart, you're trying to be funny, or you think you know something they don't know. I'm not even about that. I'm just trying to keep moving forward and pass on generational blessings to my family. And then they can keep that going down the line, and being able to break some of the generational curses that came in with us, and stuff. And so how do we get past that? And that's always been a thing on my mind, that there's certain things I wanted to do, there's certain things I wanted to leave behind, there's certain positions I wanted to leave my kids in, and giving them the knowledge they need to move forward. But I'm telling you that this pandemic, these changes, all this shifting that took place, it was not for naught. There's a thing that God is doing, and we had better seek him and figure out what it is he's trying to do, the transference that he's passing over to his children, because I'm telling you, he's doing it quickly. I had not sought him long on that. I was like, I don't even know. And he just gave me the answer, and I reached out to in an unfamiliar territory, and it has turned around to bless us in ways that we're seeing some things that can happen now. And Chris kept saying, something's changing, something's shifting. I wonder why we're having to experience this or experience that. And usually when that happens, it's because eventually we will be occupying territory in that area. And so if you're looking to move forward, then we need to be seeking his voice, listening to him for change, willing to do things differently than we've ever done them before. And some of us, I hate to say it, but some of us are going to miss that move or miss this move because we're so stuck in yesterday. We're so stuck in how things were done. We're so stuck in gathering in the church services, and we got the apostle, the prophets, and the prophets prophesying to the whole house, and we need to even go back and look at that. Is that a thing? Like, is that how they did it back in the day? Is that how we were taught prophecy was really supposed to go? Just that we jump up and just call out everybody in the building and tell them things that probably they should already know anyway. We got to start seeking God for ourselves for some of this stuff. I'm like, I'm over it. And so for me, and I don't know about you all, we have got to move forward and be willing to accept the change that he has shaken this, allowed this earth to be shaken up, and it was shaken for a reason. So for those of you that refuse to move and saying, I'm going to go back and do it the old way, this is the way I know how to do it. This is what God, he might have been over that before, but how many of us know that God will change the method? He doesn't change, but his methods, he will change. And if we're not willing to change with his methods, we're going to miss the transference. And I'm telling you, it happened to us this week. Happened to another sister friend that I was talking to a couple of last week, really, about how God just came to her and gave her a word, and she jumped up, did the same thing I did, didn't know nothing about it, but he moved through that vein, and he moved so fast. It's like, it wasn't even 24 hours, I don't think, for her or for me, when we saw him do what he was going to do and put us in position to move to the next place. So if you're trying to move forward, if you're seeking God on what it is he has for you to do, I promise you, he will answer you. And the transference of power and authority that he's passing on now is not going to look nothing like what we have seen before. So I've been 10 minutes. I didn't expect to go that long, but this thing has just been rocking and riding in my mind that we as saints are missing the move that God has in place for us, because we're trying to go back to how things were pre-pandemic. And that is not it. I'm sorry. That is not it. So if you're going to move forward and do what he's called you to do and hear his voice, you got to be willing to make the change, or you will miss it trying to go back to things as they so-called were. That's not a good thing to say, I don't suppose, but I have to be honest in what God is dealing with me on. And so I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Those that will come back, thank you for coming back. I get the messages and hearing it and looking at what's being said, or hearing what's being said and believing in God. And I thank you guys that are praying for us as we continue to try to move forward in and what he's doing, even in our life, and us trying to figure out and do what it is he has called us to do. I pray the same for you. I will be updating you guys on the business again. I'm out the door, head up that way again, because we ordered some really big pieces, so it's taking a while for some things to get shipped and get to us, but I'm excited about that. I was hoping it will be completed before we leave going to Spain, but I don't think it's going to be. We're going to be coming back and we'll be coming back and working through all of this again. Hey, Keisha, hey. I think when we come back, this will be going through some of this. So anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you jumping on. Those that will be able to go back and look at this, look at it, hear for yourself. But I don't think things will ever be like they were, and we have got to be ready to shift and make that change. Love you. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.